Welcome to Morgellons discussion and microscopy videos with your host, Jeremy Murphy.
Hey, what's up YouTube? And welcome back to Morgellons disease discussion and microscopy videos. I'm your host Jeremy Murphy, and today I just tried making this video like 15 minutes ago, and sure enough, when I was about ready to wrap it up, I looked down and the microphone volume was all the way down. So we're going to try to do this again. And hey, for those of you who have reached out and sent me support for my broken leg, thank you so much. It sucks so bad having a broken leg in this most wonderful time of spring and the beautiful time of the year. And I would love to be outside playing disc golf, but I'm stuck in this office chair, spending way too much time on the internet. So let's go ahead and get into it and get this over with. And it's good to see you guys again. It's been a long time. The first thing I want to talk about is these other organizations that I've been interacting with recently. I want to say, we have different opinions between various Morgellons groups. And, one of the problems that I have is being able to disseminate factual information about Morgellons. A lot of groups want to use the term to draw in a lot of interest. The problem I have with that is that I believe it brings in a heterogeneous population, both patients who have Morgellons and patients who believe they have Morgellons but are actually mistaken and have the wrong idea about Morgellons. I mean, the fact is, Morgellons is a real medical condition, but it's a condition. The Morgellons isn't the disease itself, all right? The disease is the spirochetes bacteria. That's the disease. And I gotta say, man, out of everybody I've been interacting with recently, even though I disagree with them, I have to give Richard Kuhn's respect for starting to differentiate between real Morgellons patients and patients who believe they have Morgellons mistakenly on his show. Richard Kuhn has a weekly YouTube show. We're completely different worlds on what Morgellons is. He thinks Morgellons is contagious. I absolutely think the research demonstrates that it's not. And there's various other things. But Richard, when I started interacting with him, he did step up to the plate and started telling his audience that unless you have embedded fibers in your skin tissue, you're probably not dealing with the Morgellons condition. Of course, most patients, the fibers aren't even the problem. It's the sores, the disfigurement, the being removed from society. That's the problem. And that was my case, and still is. I haven't even looked for Morgellons fibers in years because they are just not and never have been that important to me. I'd like to make some pretty good NFT art with them, but beyond that, I mean, it's just a skin condition that occurs in light of this serious acid bacterial infection. That's what's concerning, is the bacterial infection. Now, I'm going to say something, and I know people don't want to hear this, but syphilis is back, okay? I've been very careful. I went to the health department for a long time to get tested for HIV. I mean, several times in my life I've had to do that. But we didn't know until recently that the RPR test, according to one Bolivian study, misses 5 out of every 20 confirmed cases. That's a false negative in 5 out of every 20 confirmed cases. And there's reasons for that. There's reasons why the serology isn't going to elicit an active infection. And it's the same reason for Lyme disease, because of immunosuppression. Look, in the past 5 years, we've learned so much about syphilis. And no, to be honest, I've had 2 doctors in Greenville tell me you do not have syphilis. And it may be that false sense of security that causes people to go out and be so reckless. I think if people knew that there was a possibility that they could have syphilis, then they would be more careful. So why am I talking about this at all? because it is a potential that Morgellons is associated with syphilis, and that is stated in the research. The latest research paper, The Classification and Staging of Morgellons Disease, Lessons from Syphilis, states, while no syphilis has been found in any Morgellons patients to date, syphilis could be a key etiologic factor in Morgellons disease pathogenesis. A lot of the microscopic images that were used in these research initiatives use a stain, an antibody stain that reacts to both Borrelia and treponemes. So while you may have one or the other, or a larger amount of one or the other, both in combination, when you use the broad antibody stain for spirochetal infections, it kind of fills in the picture. It shows, okay, there's a lot of bacteria infecting these skin cells, and those infected skin cells go on to create Morgellons filaments. Yeah, I mean, we're already getting some acceptance right now with Medscape, and there's even a mesh term which associates Morgellons strongly with Lyme disease. But I want to tell you right now, if you're dealing with sores on your body, before you get involved with Morgellons, try going to the health department and having them look at you and see if they aren't concerned about syphilis. I mean, if you've had a tick bite, obviously, I would engage in a Lyme-literate medical doctor. But if there's any potential that it's syphilis, get it knocked out early, because you can easily reinfect yourself after treatment. And that's not a relapse. That's not a chronic condition. That's a reinfection. And the problem is the sex pool right now in the United States has a large portion of asymptomatic syphilitics. And it's something that can be taken care of so easy if caught early. But if it's allowed to progress and get into the central nervous system and start causing insomnia, paranoia, attention deficit disorder, anger, mood swings, all that crazy crap, I mean, then it's like ice skating uphill to get it out of your body. And so, I'm telling you on this channel, yes, I do believe Morgellons is associated with syphilis. I think that 6% of Lyme disease patients that exhibit Morgellons could be co-infected with syphilis. You know, we haven't had a scientific culture method until within the past 5 years. We didn't know that syphilis causes immune suppression to the extent that we know it today. We didn't know how syphilis altered one of its surface proteins to evade the immune response. But we're starting to learn, and the more we learn about that bacteria, the scarier it looks. So, let me leave you with this. If you've had a bad experience trying to get treatment for the sores on your skin, just consider that oftentimes things that people don't understand can frighten them. You know, I hate to be the one to get up here and say this, but I'm trying to be responsible. There's a big problem going on in the country right now. And as far as Morgellons goes, we need to start having that dialogue about syphilis. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. Definitely check out some of these other channels that I've been talking about. Managing Morgellons is probably one of the best ones out there right now. I think they're doing a great job raising awareness. And so I'm going to leave a link. You guys check that out. Give it a subscribe. And, God, man, let's hope this leg heals up and I can get out of the house soon. See ya.